Everyone, Danielle here with a little video showing you how you can make some of your own customized little ornaments to hang on your tree, or you could always give them away as a gift. Super inexpensive. Most of the stuff you probably already have on hand if you're a crafter, and the few things that you do need to pick up, you can get them at your local craft store, and always use a 50% off coupon. These things can all be found, minus the stamps, can all be found at Michael's, Joann's, AC Moore. So the first thing you're going to need are these fillable glass ornaments. They come in packs of 6. They also come in plastic, but the ones I have, I've had them on hand for a couple years. They just happen to be glass. If you have small kids, probably a good idea to go with plastic. That's probably what I should be using, but I'm just going to hang these up a little higher so that my son doesn't feel the need to grab them and play with them. Second thing you're going to want to have are some stamps. If you don't have stamps, you can always pick those up at AC Moore or Michael's as well. But I happen to have tons of stamps on hand, so I actually put these out and let my son pick a few of the images that he thought were cute. So he picked a reindeer from this Christmas reindeer set by Hero Arts, and he picked the reindeer in the Critters in the Snow set, and we also used the winter bunny. I'm also making a gift for my mom, so if she's watching this, her Christmas present is ruined. Well, one of them anyway. I picked the butterfly that I use all the time. You'll be happy to know that I did order a new butterfly stamp, so if you're sick of seeing this one, you can have a new one to look forward to. So I stamped that one. So I stamped those images. I actually already used the winter bunny in my test one, so you'll see that at the end. But I stamped them, I colored them in with Copics. And again, you're going to want to stamp these in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Number 1, if you're going to color them with Copics, you want to do it. And 2, we're actually going to be painting over top of them. So just to make sure that none of the ink runs, you want to use either Memento or StazOn ink. And then you'll color them in. If you don't use Copics to color, that's perfectly fine. You could actually, I think it would look really nice if you stamped it on some pattern paper, and you could always paper piece it and get just as nice an ornament, maybe even nicer. So that's that. That is that. Like I said, you're going to want Mod Podge because we're going to pretty much be like decoupaging these stamped images onto the glass ornament. I also put in some glitter on the inside. But I also, for the inside of the ornament when we do it, I did try this multi-purpose sealer, which is probably pretty similar to Mod Podge, but this can be found in your regular acrylic paint aisle, and it worked fine. I did prefer the Mod Podge. I got a nicer finish to the ornament, so I would recommend this if you can get your hands on it, or if you already have it. You're also going to want to have some glossy accents. If you don't have glossy accents, some sort of heavy glue, like maybe even a super glue or a Gorilla Glue, to really make sure that your stamped images stay on the glass ornament. You're going to need glitter. This is my absolute favorite glitter for everything. It is Martha Stewart's coarse glitter, and it's like super big flakes of glitter versus real fine, almost like powdered glitter, which most people like to use. I really like this coarse glitter. I don't know why. I'm not one for glitter. I used to work at Hallmark many years ago, and every day I would come home covered in glitter. It would be on my face and my hair, so I'm a little bit hesitant to use glitter on projects, so maybe that's why I like the coarser glitter, because it's not as messy as a fine powder. And you're going to want a funnel. I was too lazy to go upstairs and get one, so I just made one out of some paper that I had laying around. And last but not least, you're going to want to have a paintbrush. Do yourself a favor and use a nice paintbrush. This one is a nicer one I picked up for a different project I used with acrylic paint, but don't use the cheapo ones. Like, I tried this first with my son's paintbrush, one of those like real cheapy ones that comes in a pack of like 10 for $1, and the bristles were brown, and they kept falling out, and so when I painted the ornament, I had all these, all the bristles were stuck and you could see them, and it was terrible. And one of these little sponge applicators that you can pick up at any craft store, usually really cheap, like 4 for $1 or whatever. So that's what you're going to need to get started. And the first thing you're going to want to do, you also want something to rest your ornament in. I happen to have one of these handy little paint cans that you can also get at Michael's. that I'm going to be using, or you could use the container that the ornament came in to begin with. So I'm just going to get started. First thing you want to do is pop off the top, and just be careful because these edges, at least on mine, are really sharp, and so are these. And be careful with the inside because these are glass. Sometimes the rim is kind of sharp or jagged. It might have a little extra piece hanging off, so just be careful with that. And what we're going to do is get started with the Mod Podge. So you just open it up, and this is where we're going to use our paintbrush. So I'm just going to take some and I'm going to paint a very thin layer around the inside of my ornament. And this goes pretty quickly, so and if you have even like an older child, they could always help you doing any of these steps, and that would be a fun way to get them involved as well with some Christmas crafting, and have them maybe make some ornaments for grandparents or teachers, you know, friends at school or neighbors. I didn't want to cover the entire inside of the ornament with glitter. I just kind of wanted it to be like a snowy hill, because we had picked the reindeer and I thought it would be cute if we did like a little scene on the ornament. So I tried a few different ways of using the Mod Podge to get glitter on the inside of the ornament. And I'll show you things that don't work if you were thinking of trying something different. And if you wanted to do an ornament with the inside entirely glittered, I'm going to link you to a really great tutorial by another blogger, Mary Dawn, where she shows you a really neat way to use floor polish to create these really beautiful glittered ornaments. So I just did a pretty thin coat around, really only about half. So if you can see, I just did real thin coat. Let me show you what happens if you don't do a thin coat and you decide to just pour Mod Podge directly into your ornament. So the first attempt was I just poured Mod Podge straight into the ornament and like rolled it around, and then I put my glitter in and rolled it around, and then I put my bunny on. And what happened was the Mod Podge, I made this probably 6 days ago and it's still wet on the inside. It never dried. So then I got the genius idea of trying to water down the Mod Podge and see if that worked. And when I watered it down, it was still pretty lumpy, so I still have clumps of Mod Podge. I made this probably 4 or 5 days ago. Part of it's dry, but you can see there's still clumps in there. But the best technique was to use my paintbrush and just paint a really thin layer on the inside. And then you're going to take your funnel and just plop it right in there, and you're going to just pour the glitter right in. And you don't really have to worry too much about how much you pour in, because you can just pour the excess back in the bottle. I've actually had this bottle of glitter for I don't know how long, a couple years now, and I haven't even used it. I haven't even begun to make a dent in it, and I've tried making these ornaments several times, so it doesn't take a whole lot to just coat the inside. I'll just add a little bit more. The nice thing about this coarse glitter too is that it kind of because of the big flakes, it just kind of sticks to the inside of the ornament on its own. So even up on this part where I didn't put the glue, some of it is still going to stick, and it's kind of neat because it gives the effect, it'll look like kind of falling snow, and then down here it's almost like a, you know, the ground with a snowbank. So it creates a cute little scene. So just twirl that all around, make sure all of it is covered with glitter, and then I'm just going to take my funnel, and anything that was extra, I'm just going to tap it right back in there. Alright. So that's kind of the first big part. The second thing we're going to do is adhere our stamped and colored image to the front, which is super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pop my top back on. And you want to go ahead and tie a little piece of twine through the little hook, because when you're ready to dry it, you want to hang it. So I actually have this little like lamp over here that I can hang it off of to dry, so that's what I'll do. So you just want to tie it on there, and you can see that we have the whole thing is glittered. There's a lot down here where we put the glue, and with mine, and it'll probably happen with regular or fine glitter anyway, it just kind of sticks on its own to the glass on the inside, which is really pretty. And the next thing I'll do is I'll take one of my stamped images. I'll use the Lawn Fawn reindeer, which is super cute, and you're gonna adhere it using whatever really sticky glue you have. Because you're gonna have to kind of bend the paper to fit to the ornament, I don't think just using Mod Podge would work. You wanna use something that is super sticky and gonna hold really well. So I'm just kind of cover this guy with some glossy accents. You can get glossy accents at your local craft store as well. I get mine at my local AC Moore. Michael's carries it. I'm pretty sure I've seen it at Joann's. And you can always pick up stamps there too if you don't have any. And then I'm just going to take it, and the nice thing about glossy accents is it does take a few days, you know, not a few days really, I guess if you used a ton of it, but it only takes a few seconds for it to get tacky enough that it's going to hold this reindeer in place, but it definitely will take, you know, at least a few hours to completely dry, but it does a nice job of holding it. And any extra that kind of squirts out from the side, I'm not too worried about it, but if you want to just kind of wipe it up, you can, because I used a lot, probably too much on the back. And like I said, you want to, you know, use this because you do have to bend the paper to kind of conform to the shape of the ball, which it doesn't really want to do, but I've made a few and they seem to be holding up fairly well with the glossy accents, so I'd say it's a success. Who knows, I made them like a week ago, so by Christmas they could be popping off, but hopefully not, because they're really cute. So, and I just want a little bit more under this antler. Alright. And this itself, I guess you could just do it like this, but I really want to make sure they stay on, you know, for years to come. So that's where we're going to go with our foam applicator and Mod Podge again. If you use glossy accents, I always have trouble with it. I had trouble in the beginning with the tip getting clogged, so I actually always just stick a straight pin in the top after I use it each time, and then it keeps it from getting clogged up. And then we're just going to go back with our Mod Podge and kind of just like if you were decoupaging anything, just go over the cover. Over the image to make sure that it holds it in place. And I've learned that you definitely don't want to overwork the area, so you want to put a coat on and let it be, because if you just keep rubbing it, then the color is probably going to start to run, and you don't want that to happen. So just really quickly, I'm going to take it, and you don't need to use a ton, you know, just enough to get a nice coat and make sure it's going to stay down. It'll get in under any of those areas that maybe didn't get adhered down super well with the glossy accents or glue that you use. And I'm just going to hold this, kind of wrap this little string around my finger to keep it out of the way. And just to kind of give it an even look, I'm going to go all the way around the ornament, because the Mod Podge is going to it'll dry clear, but it's going to leave a little bit of texture because you're using this foam brush. So I just kind of go around the whole outside of the ornament so that it looks uniform, because it would look kind of silly if just where this image was I had the Mod Podge. I don't worry so much down here where the glitter is, because you're not going to notice the texture because of all the glitter that's there on the inside, but definitely around the top of the ornament where it's still very clear. I'm just going to go like this. And there you go. Now you can obviously, I'm going to probably spend more time just making sure that this is nice and even. If you have a lot left on here, I just have a post-it up here, and you can always just sponge the extra off and then come back so you get a nice even coating of it. Alright, and that's that. I'm going to hang this up on my little lamp to dry, and then I will show you pictures of the finished ornaments I've made below. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Send me an email or in the comment section. And if you use this project, please, you know, let me know. Leave a link to your blog, or if you kind of make your own adaptation and do something different with it, I'd love to see it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys later.